decided I'm gonna start a little channel, even if not many people really watch it. Just basically thought dumping and telling stories myself and all the people I've met along the way. I think that's the most beautiful part of life, or one of them, is that you meet so many people and you carry little pieces of them everywhere with you that you go. I want to talk today about something that has been affecting me my whole life, as long as I can remember, even when I was 3, 4 years old, and affects almost everyone I've known, at least at some point during their lives, and it's self-hatred. Self-hatred, it's like a poison and a self-fulfilling prophecy that you inflict on others. When you really, really just loathe yourself, you'll go to any length to do so, and to continue to do so. You'll deny any compliments that you're given. You'll reject any love or affection or any expression that you're worth anything at all that you receive from other people. And there's nothing you won't do to continue to do it. I fucking died there. Wasn't even looking anywhere. There's no length you won't go to just continue to hate on yourself, even if it destroys other people along the way, even if you don't intend to do so. I've found this thing which is so deeply intertwined with me. It's like inseparable from my person and from my identity, that it affects all my relationships, my ability to even have them. It's like everywhere I go, I just assume that everyone hates me, and that they should, because I can't stand myself. And no matter how many times people try to help me, or I try to help myself, it's like it just doesn't even matter. I really don't know what to do about it. And I've met countless people with the same problem. You can see it in their eyes, even if they don't talk about it. Sometimes you can see it on their arms. And I don't mean that in a mocking or derogatory way. It's weird thinking about it, because I felt this way about myself since before I even knew how to read or write or count to 10. I think the first time I remember feeling this way, I was 4. And it's like it's so deeply ingrained in me. It's just such a deep part of me that I can't even see myself, even hypothetically, in a future where I don't feel this way about myself. And you know, when you feel this way about yourself, and you're also just assuming that everyone else does too, you begin to measure yourself and your entire value of your existence on what am I achieving and what am I providing? How much money am I making? What's my GPA? What's my test score in the ACT? Or what have you? How athletic am I? What does my body look like? Am I in great shape compared to other people my age that I know? And no matter how much you do, or how much money you have saved, or what that GPA is, or what that number is when you get that test score back, it just doesn't matter. Any quantifiable standard of success, no matter how high that number is in your bank account when you open the app, no matter how high that GPA is, nothing. It never matters. Because there's always someone who makes more or does better in school. Like, there's always, if unless you're valedictorian, which I'm never going to be, there's always someone who's got better grades. There's always someone who has better grades with more extracurriculars. There's always someone who has a better resume. There's always someone who gets that promotion before you or something like that. And one day I was just at work, and it just hit me that if I judged myself for even just an instant with the standards that I put on other people, because I'm very lenient towards other people, I'm willing to tolerate people's flaws and imperfections. I'm not even willing to tolerate my own good qualities that I have, if I'm ever willing to acknowledge that they exist at all. If I just applied the judgment which I apply to others to myself for even just a second, if I made a copy of me and everything about myself, from my job to my grades to my personality, but I just slapped it on a different person, they didn't have my name, or they didn't have my face or something like that, I would think they were successful, and I'd think that they were kind, and I would think highly of them. But the second I know it's me, regardless of what I do, the second I know that it's me who did it, all of that just fades away. It just is instantly destroyed. It's like there's no possibility. And I don't know, I thought that, and I tried to do it, and I know, in my head I know, and I don't say this to be completely full of myself or braggadocious, in my head I know that on paper I'm smart and I'm very successful and I have a high stress tolerance. I'm working my way through college, honor roll GPA, average salary, which, I mean, that's average, but I'm 19, so it's good for my age at least. I make, and I don't even say this to like make fun of them, you have to just work a shitty factory job, which is what I'm doing, but I make literally double what some of my friends are making because they work retail or something like that. I could be an honor roll GPA student while working 40 hours a week, every week, even during finals week, which is already hard to do, on top of, for my age, making quite a bit of money. And still, in my head, I'm just a failure. I just can't do anything. I just doing what anybody else would do. And some of that derives from the fact that I've loathed myself even since toddlerhood, and some of it just derives from the fact that, I mean, I really don't have a choice, I guess. I don't have a choice but to support myself, and that's just the position I was put in by life. That's just the way it is. And I don't have a choice but to go to school if I want, prospects. That's just the way that is for me and everyone. I just think that if I'm ever going to stop doing this. I have to learn how to try to stop doing it for my own sake. And that's something that a good friend of mine told me recently, is that I can't do this for the sake of others. I can't do it for the people I love. Because I realized today that any time I've had, and there have been times where, and this isn't just the whole, self-loathing thing, I was like an asshole. Okay, if you met me in like high school, like, I was an asshole. Okay. I was, Jesus, I died. Okay. I was an asshole. I was a dick. I was stupid. I was naive. I was kind of like belligerent in some ways. Not so much anymore. I'm willing to at least acknowledge that I've come far since then, but anytime I've had improvement in my character, I've had real moments of growth that even I can recognize as such, I was always doing it for someone else. I was doing it for my girlfriend, or I was doing it because I wanted to be a better brother to my younger siblings, and I wanted them to have a good older brother who they could rely on, but also just look back and recognize as such. I never really did it for me, and I never really saw a problem with that. But when it comes to this, the ironic thing about hating yourself is that if you see yourself as something destructive or something unworthy or something loathable, you end up becoming that thing. It's this horrible self-fulfilling prophecy that you inflict upon yourself. And it's something that I've known the horrible results of way too many times. I know this is the case because I've watched my own self-loathing harm other people, which is horribly ironic because it has nothing to do with them. It just has everything to do with me and how I feel about me and what I think of me. But when you see yourself as something like that, like for a while, like over a year, I saw myself as a death cap. Death cap, it's this mushroom which looks exactly like a normal, very edible, harmless mushroom. And it tastes just like it too. In fact, it tastes delicious. But it's horribly poisonous. And if you eat it, you're gonna die unless you can get medical help in time. You die a horribly painful death. And that's how I saw myself. I saw myself as this person where if you knew me, I could appear completely harmless. I could... Hang on, I gotta log in. Okay, never mind. I could appear as this completely normal and harmless person. And not until you really knew me for a long time would you even realize that I was this terrible, poisonous, destructive thing. That's how I saw myself, as something which looks and acts like everything else, but until it's too late, until you've already eaten the death cap in this hypothetical, then you realize what I truly am, which is this destructive, terrible thing. And if you see yourself that way, you end up just becoming what you think you are. And you end up destroying things. You end up damaging your relationships with other people. Because when someone loves you but you hate yourself, you can't accept them or their love for you. You can't accept that. You either think that it's based in naivety, that they only think they love you because they just don't really know you, what you really are. You think that they're just faking, that it's all just a lie. It's all just one big joke that's being played on you. You make all these excuses, and in your head you speak for them. You don't even let them speak for themselves. You don't accept it. You don't accept that they love you, even though they're saying it, and they're expressing it, and they're promising it, and they're showing it with their undying support. You can have every single proof presented to you, and you still don't believe it. Because you're just constantly projecting how you feel about yourself onto it. You can't love a person correctly if you don't love yourself. You can try, but it doesn't really work. But you also can't force yourself to love yourself for the sake of another person. As my friend told me today, I have never done anything good in this way, like character development. I've never done it for myself. It's always been for someone else, which isn't always a bad thing. Changing for someone is definitely not always a bad thing, but you can't love yourself for the sake of someone else because you just can't. It's about you. You can't force it for the sake of someone else. It's not something that you can just turn on and off like a lamp or something. You can't just flip a switch. But I don't know how to do it because, if I'm being honest, I never have. I think the first time, at least the first time I remember ever thinking to myself that no one loved me and I didn't deserve it anyways, if someone ever did, I was 4 years old. And, okay, hang on, I need to log in and play this block video game for a second, because these guys are pissing me off, and I'm not good enough at the game. Or I guess like new Minecraft actually 2v1 this right now. I might have to, like, learn how to edit a little bit so I can cut this out, because I'm just in, like, complete silence here. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this out. I'm not gonna be toxic. Okay, on to the next game. Okay, back to what I was saying. Hopefully, if I don't forget, I have the attention span of a goldfish, so the odds that I did forget are a little bit high, but we're gonna try. You can't do it for someone else. You have to do it for you. But I don't know how, because I really never have. I don't think there's really ever been a point in my life where I didn't think that I didn't deserve love. I remember the first time I remember thinking that no one loved me. I was 4. I don't say that just for the pity points. It's just my whole life I've never thought of myself as something other than someone completely undeserving. And it's been my identity since, again, before I could read or write, or even probably count to 10, back when I was still learning my shapes and my colors. It's just always been a part of me. It's been something that I've carried around my whole life, and I don't really know what I would be without it. And oh my god. Oh my god. I've just always seen myself that way, you know? And eventually, you find a sort of comfort in it. You don't want to leave because you don't know anything else. If I wasn't constantly dragging myself down, I don't really know what that would look like. And part of me just wants to keep it that way, just never knowing. But I know that I have to, or I at least have to try to get better, because even if I never have, there are people out there who do. And they really, I mean, not only do they love me, but they really believe in me. I'm fucking dead. Holy fuck. I love the, switching from, like, Minecraft to, like, talking about my self-hatred. It's really like, I need to knock this guy off. Okay, there we go. I don't really know what it would look like if I wasn't that person who I am now. But I know I have to try, because there are people out there who really do love me, and who believe in me, and who don't do what I do, which is just evaluate my worth based off of any quantifiable metric, and then convince myself that I don't meet up to those metrics anyways. I've always seen my self-loathing as logical, and anyone who knows me well at all should and would agree with me. But I think it's time to accept that maybe it's not, and that if I really want to love all the people who I love like I should, I have to get better. But even then, that can't be the reason why. I have to get better for my own sake. And there's going to be a learning curve, because I don't really feel as if I've ever done anything good for my own sake. But I know that I have to try. And that if I don't do it for my own sake, I'll never do it right at all. I don't know how many people are ever gonna watch this. I don't know how many people are gonna benefit from it, but if at least one person can, then I guess it was worth pressing that post button. The world is full of people like me. I've met countless of them. I'm just one in just this endless number of people struggling with this. And we all do it for what seems like an infinite amount of reasons, an infinite amount of causes, and all that. But I'm hoping that at least for me, and anyone else, if this helps them at all, that I can heal, and that someday I'll actually see myself as someone who's valuable in and of themselves, not because they earned it or because they did any particular action, but just because they exist, and that's enough. And if I can ever accomplish that, then I guess I'll... Oh, I'm dead. Sorry, I'm locking in. If I can ever really accomplish that, like truly accomplish that, then I guess maybe then I'll be the person I want to be. Someone who loves himself and loves his family, and who cares for himself and everyone in the way that they deserve. Oh my god, they don't have a bed. I guess to finish this, first videos are always bad. This is bad as far as even they go. But I hope that I at least was relatable to some of you. That I was able to put the kinds of thoughts maybe some of you have into words in a way that you weren't able to. That if this is even capable of helping anyone at all, that it helped you. And I hope that anyone else struggling with this or anything like it gets better and finds that happiness that we all long for, but so many people just never get to achieve in their lifetime. Thank you for sticking around this long if you did, and until next time, I suppose.